okay, maybe third time is the charm. Maybe. But yeah, as I typed in the chat, there are some links I have provided that, yeah, they talk about the situation and they probably can narrow it down much better than me. So let's actually try and like talk this situation as a whole and not me trying to narrow it down to certain specifics. And also, I highly encourage everyone to actually do their own research. That was a thing I was going to add. But I guess OBS is having none of it today. But yeah, there's some videos in the description where people have explained the situation. Even the petition that is going around. If you want to sign it, go for it. But the thing that I think that it is most important to actually bring up is that FTC is apparently very eager to hear creators' opinions about this, or not opinions. They are eager to hear creators' side of the story before they actually go ahead and change or restrict their laws, however they want to do it. Nothing is of course final yet, so anything can literally still happen. So it's not gonna be like, we don't know yet, sadly, what is going to happen. Let me briefly check that thing. And so, they're FTC and COPPA, they're accepting feedback until 9th of December, if I remember the date correctly. And if you want to have a part of kind of like saying how they want to form the law, you can go ahead and write them like a polite and civil, like a message that, hey, why do you enjoy content? Why do you think that if restricting the law, is it gonna do more good than harm? And like, let me make one thing very clear straight away. COPPA had all the rights to actually fine Google or like expose what they have been doing. They had all rights to do that. Because Google still has to follow the laws even though they are a big corporation. So that is also a thing. And I've seen this thing going around a lot. Should I private all my videos? Nobody knows yet what is going to happen, if these things are going to be as fatal as people are rumoring them to be. And as for whether people should private their videos or not, I'm not sure will it help. Either way that the law goes, if you private your videos or not, we don't know for sure. Will it help? I guess people are doing it out of the fear, like as a first initial reaction to go straight ahead and like private their videos because they fear the worst. And yeah, we are living at a very uncertain time, to be perfectly honest. And why people are so scared is because of the vague wording that YouTube has provided for categorizing their videos, such as cartoon characters. Are they meaning like official characters, or are they meaning every single drawn character? Or yeah, basically the problem that everyone is kind of having is that everything is vague. Everything is everything is like up to a very broad judgment. And so I don't know yet, is it really like a hashtag YouTube is over party? We don't know for sure. Not until December, I guess, when we get like more valid answers to this entire situation. The only safe way with what I know is currently just make it kids content, especially in animation when there is mentality of course it's for kids, it's animated, so it must be for kids. That is probably the safest bet in here. Uh, it is the safest bet, but at the same time, I would love it that when and if people are going to give FTC feedback, I would love that they would bring up the argument that even though animation would be the art form of, for example, telling the story, or like telling the story, and or how can I word this? Even though animation is like the skin of the production of the story of the video, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is specifically like kid friendly content. Like sometimes animation can include very heavy word can, because there are kids content out there. But yeah, animation can be a way to tell another story. For example, animation is a good way to tackle more dreamy, like more heavy subjects that wouldn't be possible perhaps through acting. Acting is a very good way of presenting things, but animation has also this wonderful surreal skill to bring things actually to quote unquote life and give it a little bit more personality than what you maybe couldn't achieve when acting. Of course, video editing and video VX effect stuff is real, so you could still potentially make a lot of cool stuff. Um, And another thing that is going around a lot, especially on Twitter, is the fact that people are saying that uh, no matter where you are, no matter the platform you use, the laws that FTC/COPPA is going to implement, they are gonna take in effect everywhere around the internet, not only on YouTube. That is only a rumor at this point, but if we are talking about laws, it is most likely going to affect everywhere else than YouTube, sadly. Sadly, the surface value plays in a lot. And I mean a lot. And also another thing that comes up with animations are colors. Apparently in COPPA's guidelines, if you're using very bright colors, they are very child attractive. This is true. However, some companies, and not even companies, some brands, I guess we could even talk about like some YouTubers being their own brands. Some YouTubers prefer to use brighter colors because they catch attention. And if there are certain colors that people would like to use more than the others, that is just color theory at the play. And I hope that this bright colors claim, it will be taken into a heavy consideration how they're meaning with that and how they're going to implement with that. When I was working on my thesis earlier this year, I actually searched on what are the trends of illustration 2019. What popped up a lot was pastel colors. Granted, pastel colors are not bright colors, and this mainly appeals to advertising. But there were also some mentions of neon colors, which, if you ask me, neon is quite bright. And that's another thing that like animators are terrified about, is that the limitations that comes with marking your content as kids content. Your notification bell is threatened to be taken away, comments are being would be disabled, your capability of having a community tab. Those are all things that people those are things that people don't really like to lose, if you're being perfectly honest. And communication is especially important when it comes to multi-animator projects, which I'm going to refer as maps. So maps as multi-animator projects. And if there are and if there are, what was it? I lost the train of thought. Well, I guess I'll get back to it when I remember it. Oh wait, yeah. Map community heavily relies on like communicating, and if you are not allowed to comment on map videos because the comments are disabled, one solution could be Google Docs or Google Form application. But as far as I'm aware, kids content require that you don't have any links going outside of YouTube, really. I think this applies mainly to the advertisements and advertising, but also the fact that if it's like you really can't like link or offer link outside of YouTube, would even Google Forms work? And where would you do the like discussion of the map? In Discord? Most likely in Discord, I bet. Yesterday when I was scrolling Twitter about this, there was actually, I saw a thread where somebody was asking about their stuff relating to their animation. Let's put it simply that way. And when I was scrolling through, there was also some people saying that that they would tell the other person in person what is actually going on and clear up the misinformation. And of course, everything is still like very, very gray right now. Nothing is set to the stone, nothing is legally put into place. So this is very, very gray time to actually like make any kind of judgments. And yeah, as I said earlier, or on the second attempt, YouTube is one of a kind platform. There isn't really another like it. I guess Newgrounds is something that comes to a close second, but YouTube has managed to build itself to be this very unique platform that is free for everyone. It is easy for anyone to access, and you have a chances like this where you can like live stream without paying, you can upload videos without paying. You basically have unlimited storage to just upload videos, share your creativity, and whatnot. Of course, there are other video platforms such as Vimeo and Newgrounds, as I formerly mentioned, to name a few. I bet there are more, but they are on a much smaller scale. And a lot of people who are enjoying YouTube and are actually using YouTube for the majority of the time, where these people are gonna go. I was actually discussing a little bit about this with my friend when I met her at the cafe today earlier. And she was like, it will be interesting to see whether Insta TV or Twitch is gonna benefit from this. But again, as nothing is set to the stone, meaning as legal steps are not set to the stone, we don't know what will happen. And as somebody said earlier, or asked, we don't know, will privatizing videos help? If you have something privatized, or like if you have any former experience of privatizing videos, that doesn't exactly save you from like getting copyright claimed if you have some heavily copyrighted music on your video. Or at least that's as far as for my experience. So I'm afraid that even though privating videos would like kind of like throwing a blanket on an elephant in a room and being like, yeah, the elephant doesn't exist, I'm afraid even though privatizing videos may feel like a safe way to approach this, it may in the end not actually be the safest way to handle this, which sucks. And again, I guess that it, and again, I guess it's not like, or it is not. It shouldn't be treated yet as YouTube is over party. Most likely nothing will come out of this. If we actually get through to FTC and COPPA that, hey, the laws that you're putting into place, hopefully you will take into consideration these people that love to create these things. Because another thing that I wouldn't like to see FTC and COPPA to go through is to suddenly discover that the animation requirement that they ask us animators to actually comply with, that the animation suddenly has some suggestive themes or very heavy gore or very heavy violence. And I guess at the end of the day, the clip that is going around online about the COPPA person saying that they will fine independent creators, they don't specify literally anything except that the price may be at the highest at the price that it has been said it is. If they do end up suing people that don't know better, and with this I mean younger creators that are not adults, that's a little bit contradicting themselves. I'm sorry. Again, we don't know yet. All we have to do is wait and see how things turn out. Which is why I heavily encourage, if you have any words you would like to send to FTC and actually like give them your perspective of the situation. If you do, please be formal, please be civil, please be polite in general. Because according to one of the links that I linked in the description, can I actually see which one? Like, according to G House Law's video, they are still interested to know about this, hear about creators, and take into consideration how creators may be affected by this. So if they're offering this generous chance for us to actually speak up about it, we should honestly take it. And I think that the thing that is actually important to note, all the videos that I have seen talking about it are talking about the worst possible outcome scenario. Will things turn out as horrible as everybody is saying? Who knows? Hopefully not. We still have hope. We have still a chance to actually get through to them. And the thing is, whether FTC is going to limit children's, like, put some limitations on content that can be published on YouTube. Like, these limitations, you can put as many limitations as you want. It is the very sad truth. Kids will find their way around it. They sadly will. They have before and they will in the future. Of course, it's a good idea to try and protect them. But one comment that I saw was a very good one, in my opinion. It went along the lines of that some people would rather see more kid-friendly content presented on the platform rather than letting the platform go rogue, where people are submitting much more mature content, aka more adult-alike content, trying to tiptoe around this Kids Act. And if and even if, like, in a very happy world, or like not happy, in a very perfect, in a heavy quote marks, like very heavy quote marks, in a perfect world, kids actually did use the Kids app and only stayed there. Cool, that's amazing. That would be amazing. But sadly, this is not a perfect world. People will find a way to actually, they will find a way to get what they want. And I guess in this case, kids will find a way to watch the regular YouTube if the Kids app gets too boring. And I think that the Kids app in general, like YouTube's Kids app, it's kind of a good idea. But how many actually use it? I don't have kids of my own, but I have little sisters, and I know for a fact that neither of them have used Kids app. And again, as I said in the attempt 2, COPPA had every right to fine Google for what they were doing. What Google did was illegal. That should not have happened in the first place. They should have complied with the laws and rules, and therefore just stuck with them. But I guess they flew too close to the sun. Yeah. I quickly checked on what is up on Discord, but and I mean, it would be a shame if YouTube suddenly got, yep, this is still going. OBS decided to flop again on me. Yep, sadly. Like, very, very sadly, my OBS has been disobedient. And yeah, I guess that it is good because now I'm actually talking a little bit slower, so people maybe have a little bit easier time to keep up with me. So I highly recommend everyone to actually do their little fact check on this. As I've stated, I have linked stuff in the description. Some of those videos are very good starting points. They could explain the situation much better than I could ever do. And as I said at the start, like at the first attempt, because now OBS is working. It's working like a perfect little puppy. And I'm like, what did I ever do to hurt you the way I did? yeah, when I said I've been around the block for a while, for over a decade, I have definitely been on YouTube for 11 years. And this is something that I don't see is worth of giving up on. This is not definitely a point where YouTube is... This is definitely not a point where YouTube is hopefully not going to die. It is going to change drastically. Like, very drastically. And this is definitely another kind of like adaptation phase on YouTube. And if FTC actually listens to creators, if they actually do take in our feedback, we have a very high possibility of surviving this. But in order for them to actually take us seriously is that we actually have to go and write them a messages along the lines that, hey, I am content creator or viewer. I enjoy the content and I feel like the current listings of the guidelines are too vague. As long as we get some kind of specification for those guidelines that they currently have put up, that alone will help tremendously. And again, if I remember the date correctly, it is 6th of December until you have to actually comment. And definitely I don't want to see this as the end of animation community. It's very panic inducing. It is very anxiety inducing. It's like very understandable for some big creators to actually sweat and be like, oh god, what I'm doing, what is going to happen. This is very uncertain time, but this is definitely very, very, very important point to actually go ahead and comment, enlighten them, tell them about this, about the issues, about their vague guidelines, and how they could possibly help them to correct these guidelines, and how they could make them more helpful guidelines. Because definitely some definition needs to be made, because right now, as said, they are too vague. They are too highly up for interpretation. I know that some people in the animation community, at least what I have seen on Twitter, there are some people that are actually going to make more proper videos about that. And when they do, I will gladly share them around as an extra information on my community tab, on my server. And hopefully the information that people are saying that apparently we are missing something, I hope that comes to a light. I hope that it's not something that is just kept behind the closed doors. Because as creators, I feel like we definitely deserve to know what is going on. It is definitely odd that some of the bigger creators, they're not talking about this. Or some creators are talking about this. I'm not saying that some people are not talking about it, because this is definitely discussion worthy conversation to have about this, because this is a kind of big thing. Hopefully it will end up in our favor. Hopefully it will end up in everyone's favor, because it's not only animation community, it is literally every other community as well, like arts and crafts, gaming. And as long as FTC is willing to learn and hear from creators, I think that's all that really matters in this case. So, DA Games also made a video about this. He said that this wouldn't be much of a problem for us. I get where he's coming from, but I do think he makes some good points. But what I think he missed is that although people will look at our videos, that doesn't mean that being older people, they will not see that our things are eventually for others and not for kids, because we have a cartoon cat animation or colorful artwork or whatever. Unfortunately, animation still has this stigma that animation is for kids. Personally, I have seen some changes around the years about it. Like, the stigma is not as bad as it used to be, but it is still there. Animation is definitely still classified as for kids, like, as a whole. I think the only movie, I have not seen it, I have only heard about it, but Spider-Verse apparently is the only movie that has so far gotten some praise, even from the adults themselves. Now, I know there are some adults that do watch cartoons, and they can be very old. I bet very artistic people do look animations because they find them artistically pleasing. They find it, I don't know, they find it a work of art. But then as a regular person who goes for like a 9-to-5 job, sadly the stigma around animation is still around them. And if they firmly believe that it is for kids, then unfortunately it is for kids. Which is why this is very important that we make it clear for FTC that, hey, animation is pretty cool. We like it, and we are not like toddlers anymore. How haven't people get that people can enjoy animation and other kid-friendly content? I guess we are slowly and surely making the change, but the change is very, very slow. And suddenly we have connection again. Oh, OBS. Why? Why are you like this? Yeah, I doubt I have anything like mind-blowing to really add what I have already said. There are some links in the description I have linked. They are very useful sources. If you really want to sign the petition, it is down there if you want to check it out. And there are also links for the ways for everyone to contact FTC if they want to actually go ahead and voice their concerns, because as I said, they are willing to listen, or at least that's how they want to appear to be. That they want to listen and they want to learn more from creators and viewers who are watching this kind of stuff, how they should set up the guidelines, etc. I personally don't have much anything else to add here. I may be a broken record if I do. But I highly encourage everyone to do their own research. And just when I said I would become a broken record, I am becoming a broken record. Animation community has all the right to be annoyed about this. They have all the right to feel how they feel. The panic is understandable. But as said, nothing is set to the stone yet. We still have a fighting chance. We just have to use our voices, be vocal about this, and actually talk about this issue and bring it to the light that not all the animation is kid-friendly animation. And if we talk enough about it to them politely, maybe we will get through them and they actually will grant us a pass that, hey, we can actually mark ourselves plus 13 if we really want to. And also Arctic Sea added FTC's email. Apparently you can draw there any questions and also like direct comments about this if you want to go to the email route. If you don't, again, there's a link in the description where you can actually get to the commenting forum. And also another videos that really talk about this topic to the depth. Like a very good detail, and I highly recommend everyone to go and watch it, or at least give a listen to it. I know the topic is very scary. I know that it's it's very scary. It is very nerve-wracking. It's very anxious inducing. Just educate yourself, listen, discuss with people, have heart-to-heart talks with one another. And yeah. I guess that's really all I have to really add to this conversation. Just talk about it, be vocal, go and talk politely to FTC about it. And just let's hope for the best. Let's pray that everything is gonna turn out just fine. And yeah. And so for people who are just tuning in, unfortunately this stream didn't turn out to be one perfect solid piece because my OBS decided to not properly work today, and I'm very sorry about that. But be kind to one another, talk to each other, listen to videos who are more in depth about the situation, and just, I know it's scary, use your voice, be vocal, talk about it. And yeah, I don't really have anything for anyone to take away from this video other than check out the description of this live stream or video, however you're watching this. Check out the videos I have linked there, check out the sources there. If you find anything that is helpful personally to you, go and check it out. And I don't really have anything else to add to this. I am on the same boat as you guys. I'm scared and terrified, but also I am anxiously hopeful little dreamer who wants to believe that things will get better. Which is why I highly encourage people to actually talk about this. Because it would be a shame that this community actually just goes poof. Including map and, well, I'm not really part of it, but also meme communities. Just animation community in general. It's not worth for it to be flushed down the toilet. So just be careful. Also another takeaway I guess is good to have from this. Even though it sucks, for everyone's safety, I guess we have to comply for now and flag our stuff as kid friendly. And I really hope that we can get through FTC and get some change to that. But if they are very serious about that fining thing, that as they are scaring every creator about it, I sincerely hope that no one in our community actually goes ahead and gets fined. The scariest thing about this is that if animation community actually loses the communication abilities, which are the comments, community tab, notification bell, because community is always about community. And if we can't have any other way to get the feedback that we used to have, well then, I don't know what kind of community that is. And I really hope it doesn't go that way. Yeah, it really happens like very internally. I have been fortunate enough not to have noticed such a thing, but I guess I have to heavily rethink about re-categorizing my videos for the sake of actually being safe. And I bet the algorithm is gonna be at work 24/7. It's not gonna stop. You can actually check that setting from like when you go to your studio or to your studio, and then you click to the video, and in the general information where you have the description, the video name, and the playlist and yada yada, when you scroll down a little bit, it will have a mark that, hey, is this for kids or is this not for kids? If you click that it's for kids, then alright, it is for kids. And if you mark it not for kids, you have an extra option to choose whether it's for people above 13 or people above 18, aka adults. You can also do that on like, you can do it one by one on like every video basis, or you can do it by like, according to YouTube, what I saw from their video, you can also apply a certain setting to all of your videos, and then if you want to individually change some videos, you can go and individually change some of those videos. I really hope that there will be more possibilities for that flagging system, and as said, hopefully FTC will come around and actually let us mark more quote-unquote serious content for like kids above 13. And of course, let's make this clear. Personally, I don't care if kids watch my content. Anyone who enjoys my content is welcome to watch it. But what I don't like is the limitations that comes with kids content, meaning disabled comments, yada yada. Yeah, I guess the algorithm really checks that if they are animations, they are gonna be flagged for kids. Sadly. If it's YouTube's algorithm that is doing the sorting out for you. I have certain map parts too that I definitely would never mark for kids because of the gore reasons. Granted, they are a little bit old, but they still include some, I guess, heavy gore. According to my style, that's heavy gore. Sorry for being so confused, but what does it look like with when your video is flagged? If you're talking about the flagged as whether your video is categorized for kids or not for kids, you can go to the YouTube studio, you can click to the video, like video information settings and etc., this kind of stuff. And from there, you can go and check whether you can go and check where you can like change your video's name and description. If you scroll further down, you will see this option of whether it's marked for kids or not. And if it's not marked for kids, is it for people above 18, aka adults, or is it gonna be for people below 18, which means for plus 13? It's actually very easy to find. once you actually get the hang of it. The only annoying thing that I find about it is that sometimes YouTube Studio refuses to load the way that it does. But yeah, that's definitely some mindful stuff. And this is like, as I said earlier, I was trying not to repeat myself, but here we are. Yeah, technically there are three classifications, because not for kids there is like a specification button, but there definitely should be more clarifying classification. I wouldn't even mind if YouTube started to I wouldn't mind if YouTube actually had the ratings that they have in movie theaters, aka they would maybe have the E rating, then like PG-13, PG-16, PG-18. I don't know, is PG-20 or 21 necessary? I don't think it even exists anymore. It probably only existed like before I was born. But if there definitely was more specified options available, that would be so helpful. But sadly, so far it doesn't seem to be that way. This is how Google is planning to go from now on, and we just have to comply. And we have to adapt with this change. And the flagging system, whether your videos are for kids or not, that is definitely a system that is going to remain permanent. And I'm actually surprised that that it wasn't around before. Maybe because YouTube by default is for people above 13. Oh yeah, and definitely the friendly category. That also should be available. But I guess at this day and age, we will see if family friendly is truly a thing that is going to actually exist. Or if FTC actually gets through us and lets us have a quote unquote family friendly way with our videos. Just like Anton mentioned, there should be more specified, more specific ways to rate our videos. No questions asked. And of course, parenting has its part played in this. Why we are here? Because apparently parents didn't do their job? Question mark. And I mean, some parents do it knowingly. Some parents let their kids watch an actual YouTube with their account because they know what they're watching and they trust their kids. That is a perfect relationship I'm perfectly fine with. Unfortunately, the issue arises when kids watch mindlessly YouTube, as mentioned in the chat, and made it work as a type of babysitter. That is definitely the issue that has led down to this. And until current parents wake up that, hey, YouTube isn't solution for everything for 24/7, which, let's face it, it's probably not gonna happen. Except for people who grow to attempt to rise the generation, but the generation that is currently being raised by the help of YouTube and other entertainment, that's a very, very, very blurry line. I wish YouTube would just make it like you mark the video as not for kids, and then you can only watch the video if you have a Google/YouTube account, since you can first make an account when you reach that age. That is definitely a suggestion I've seen people from nearly every party to throw around. I definitely agree that would erase so many issues. Again, kids can be smart, they can find their way around those issues, sadly. And I think that the thing that is really missing nowadays is the fact that parents actually discussing with kids that what is okay to watch and what is not okay to watch. Like the discussion part feels like it is missing completely out of the picture, and this is how we creators are here to getting to pay their poor parenting skills. Of course, I'm not saying every parent that gives their kids like YouTube for entertainment is bad. That is just very heavy stereotyping. And I bet that there is genuinely good parents out there who just let their kids watch YouTube because they genuinely trust their kids and actually have this good relationship with their kids. I have no problem with that. That is amazing. That is definitely how things should be. But it is definitely very, very frustrating as a creator to see how the quote unquote parenting that the parents should do is kind of left for creators. And apparently it's creators' fault if your kid accidentally watches something that they are not supposed to. Of course, some content may be deceiving. Some content may deceive even adults who may think that they are watching something. There is definitely deceiving content out there. I'm not gonna throw that out of the window. But if there is actually deceiving content out there, I wish that parents would actually be like, hey, this content is not okay. And actually showed interest in what their children are watching and even watch some of them with them. And that way find out what they're actually liking and such. And the fact that kids at the state age of like a toddler age or something know how to use a tablet, know how to use a smartphone, they become smarter than their parents. It's cool, but it is also very alarming. And as of right now, I guess, or not guess. All we can do is wait and hope that FTC actually takes us seriously and takes our comments into consideration. And again, links are in the description below for anyone to actually go ahead and write them a message. Go and do it. If someone wanted to benefit from YouTube's desperation, this would definitely be the time to act. Because as said, there is no other platform like YouTube. There are video platforms, but not quite the level that YouTube is as a platform. Offering a free user face for people to upload and share their self-made content, whether it be home videos or animations or vlogs or whatever. And I guess until further notice, I had a thought and it just cut. But again, educate yourself. The videos I have in the description, share them around, share them with your friends, share them with people who watch YouTube, share them with people who do not watch YouTube. Just share it with everyone that you think these new changes are going to affect. And I mean, personally, when we are thinking about this situation, I wouldn't really want to have a I wouldn't personally want my recommendations on YouTube flood with kids only content just because I like to watch animations, for example. Hi Facebook, bye Facebook. And as I mentioned earlier, for example, like Twitch, if Twitch decided, correct me if I'm wrong, but if Twitch decided to make a side of Twitch where people could upload other content than live streams, Twitch could thrive. Twitch would grow instantly. as it is like one of the most known live stream platforms, if they actually provided also like a commenting system and video uploading stuff and yada yada. If they really wanted to take advantage of the situation, they could do that. Or literally any other platform. If they want to make something that could compete with YouTube, they could do that. They could take advantage of YouTube's desperation right now. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to add to this, unless someone in the chat has something more to add to this. Again, as I have probably said a million times, use the links in the description that I have provided. There are good videos out there explaining the situation. All hope is absolutely not lost just yet. As long as FTC is willing to listen, we must use that voice, as I have said gazillion times, and I probably won't stop saying that because, yeah, that is definitely our current state right now, and we have to live with it. We have to comply with these new settings. We have to comply with Google's new guidelines how to rank and mark our videos. And I personally sincerely hope that it will be just that. Marking your videos to be the only thing that makes the trick. But we will see. So, unless anyone else has anything else to say or question in general or such, then I guess this is a good point to actually end this. I'm sorry that this had to become a three-parter, but I feel like this last part is definitely the most important one. Unfortunately, the first attempt got cut prematurely because of OBS. I hope that next time I stream, my OBS won't do that, like at all, but yeah. Animators are definitely not alone with this. We are not the only community suffering from this, but until we get further clarifications, we just have to wait and see what will happen. And until then, we better keep ourselves educated and try and actually get our voices heard within FTC, and hope that they actually do listen to us, because this is important. Even if people wouldn't make money out of this, this is people's hobby, this is people's way of expressing them, this is one of the art forms that people feel comfortable expressing themselves. And yeah, I hope it doesn't die. That's all I'm wishing for. Because it would be a really shame that people who actually want to share their art have to leave their videos to dust into their files. Which is that kind of dystopia that I don't hope for anyone to happen. So while my connection is still running, I'll stop this stream here. Thank you for watching, whether you watched only this or the other parts before. Definitely check out the videos I have provided links to in the description. Spread the word. Try to tell people that they have to be vocal, they have to talk to FTC about this and voice their concerns. The law change is gonna happen. We can't avoid that, but the way it's gonna happen, that's where we have hope, and that's where we have a chance to actually affect and have a say in how we actually would like the law to be written. And definitely, I personally would wish that the law won't be written as vaguely as it is currently drafted to be. So, I hope despite this, I hope everyone is having a good day, night, or evening, or morning, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for listening. And yeah, I have a new video coming on Saturday, and that's about it. I'm gonna keep normal until everything resolves in one way or another, and I hope that everyone else can also try and keep it casual. We haven't lost anything just yet, and hopefully we don't. So let's hope for the best.